The movie is fun, but it's lacking something. Hello, welcome to Just My Thoughts. I'm your host Khaleel Ward. On this episode, I'll be talking about Gladiator 2. The movie stars Denzel Washington, Paul Mescal, Pedro Pascal, Connie Nielsen, Joseph Quinn. Try not to spoil things about the movie, and I'm also not going to remember everybody's name in the movie. This takes place 16 years later after the events of the first film, and they mention the first film a lot. So, yes, watch the first movie before you watch this movie so you won't be lost. Anyway, Rome is still conquering places. They are led by these twins. Don't know how they came into power. I don't know. Anyway, we meet this guy named Hanno. He is in love and apparently leads an army. Rome comes to conquer his place. You know, he gives a little speech. He doesn't give a great speech, but it's like, all right, cool, whatever. They're going to fight Rome. Rome kicks their butts. And during the fight, his wife gets killed, and it's led by a general played by Pedro Pascal. So you see Hanno eye Pedro Pascal, and he's like, yeah, I want to kill this guy. You can just see it on his face. Anyway, he's enslaved. He's put into arena, and the fights are cool, although they are very different because there's some weird looking monkey baboon thing that he has to fight, and it looks funny. I don't know why they just didn't pick another animal or something. Anyway, he does well in there, and Denzel is watching, and he decides to buy him. He's like, yeah, you got anger. I'm going to use that anger that you have, and you're going to be this great gladiator. Like, Denzel is eating up scenery. Whenever he's on screen, it's like, oh, yeah, he's having a great time. The way he comes in and he has his robe and the way he exits, it's Denzel. It's amazing to watch. So now Hanno is owned by Denzel. He just keeps getting put into these arenas, and it reminds you of the first movie. And that's where this movie is lacking, because it takes a lot of the same story beats as the first movie. But the first movie had Russell Crowe, and it was like, oh yeah, that's a gladiator. Like, Paul Mescal is good, especially in the action sequences, but in terms of like the gravitas and the speaking to the people, you're like, he's cool. The daughter from the first movie is still around. She's not in power. She is married to Pedro Pascal's character, the general, and they want to overthrow these current emperors. Their twins are a little weird. They're young and just strange, and they're just destroying, quote unquote, Rome in the hope that her father had. So they are plotting things on the side to, overthrow them. Denzel has his own little things that he has planned for Rome while using Hanno, the gladiator, to get to that step. And it's like, you're watching it, you're entertained whenever Denzel's on screen. When the story starts to unfold, you're like, okay, I guess. Let me see another fight scene. Because the fight scenes are really well done. I thought the boat scene was pretty dope. I don't know if there were sharks back then, but who cares? It was pretty dope having the water scene. And just watching him fight was fun. But everything else around that, it was like lackluster. Like, you enjoy the performances, you enjoy the action, but the story, it's a little lacking. So, like, the movie is fun. I had a good time watching it, and I think you should check it out, especially if you enjoy Gladiator 1. You're going to enjoy the fighting in this. You're not going to have a Maximus character in this, but it's an entertaining movie. I don't know if it's going to be the biggest movie to come out, but it's fun, but it's still missing something in terms of the story aspect of it. By the end of it, I was satisfied. It was cool. Like, I could have asked for more in terms of the story and like the character development of Hanno and everything, but I was enjoying myself, what I got on the screen. But it's not Gladiator 1 in terms of just those performances. It's not there. It's a legacy sequel that is okay. It's not terrible. Denzel is Denzel. Pedro Pascal didn't get much to do. His character was kind of wooden. Connie Nielsen does a little bit, and Paul Mescal, he's okay. He's just not Russell Crowe. But those are just my thoughts on Gladiator 2. Fun movie, but the story is a little lackluster. If you watched the movie, let me know what you thought about it. Thanks for watching.